I am so relieved. I pretty much broke my camera lens in order to make it work. All right, so it is the morning after when I got the lens. I've yet to get the adapter to connect to the lens. So I gotta figure out today if I'm gonna need to return it and get something a little more expensive that may be a little bigger to accommodate. What I think is the issue is this little doohickey right here. I think it extends too far for the adapter, so it can't lock in all the way. So I gotta figure out if I need to get a replacement, which is gonna be more expensive because anything else besides what I got was like 20 bucks more. I'll give you an update on that moment later on. In the meantime, working on confirming the music that I'm using for this video. So I'm using Artlist. I used to use Epidemic Sound, but I wanted to go with Artlist because they have music, sound effects, and I didn't get the biggest subscription, which includes stock footage. But eventually I plan on doing that just so I can kind of have access to a lot of stock content, music and video. All right, so these were the songs that I curated. I have a couple of ambient songs to kind of start the video out with. I have a couple of electronic songs to get into the main meat and potatoes. Now, I feel like Artlist is a little slow to the game on this because Epidemic Sound already had this, but I made sure to get the stems for the songs that I wanted since they were available, so that when I get to the edit bay, I can do a lot more by having these as individual tracks. And especially when I'm using two different songs, and I'm gonna be able to, when I want to transition from my ambient song to the electronic song as seamlessly as possible. And so having the stems, having things separated is going to help pick and choose what plays from what song to make that transition work. Now it is Wednesday, so I have to work an hour early. My regular day job, which means I don't really have much time to get into the edit bay like I want to. I got to get the little one up. It's almost 8 o'clock, so I have to get her up and get her ready to drop off to the babysitter so that I can be at work. And hopefully, if work is slow enough, there's enough downtime, I can edit as much as I want to, which is always nice. It's not always guaranteed having that downtime at work. I work a call center job, so some days it can be busy, especially when it comes to booking flights and stuff. A lot of days it can be very slow. So I've been very, very productive with the time that I have while I'm at work, working on film projects, just working on this business as a whole. Now, if I sound tired, I'm sorry. It's just the morning time. I'm drinking my coffee right now, so I'm fine. But my voice, especially like it's fall time and stuff, my voice just is very course early in the morning. This is probably the only time I'll be giving any kind of update as far as like the lens that I'm dealing with and kind of what I'm planning on for the day. All right, so I just dropped baby girl off with babysitter and about to start work pretty soon. My plans for the day involve trying to get a rough cut of the Masquerade Ball video. I've not been able to get a whole lot done, mainly because I've been doing a lot of front end stuff, just organizing the files, sorting through everything, and trying to get the files ready to send off to the client. She actually asked for just the raw footage, which I was okay with doing because, you know, it wasn't really a big deal for me, and I found a way to sort through the files within Premiere and then actually cut down trim off the fat, essentially cut down to just the middle section of each shot, which I'll probably show what I found in doing later on. But instead of giving her the entire 20 gigs worth of videos raw just as they are, I actually curated and decided which shots were worth keeping. So that pretty much meant that I actually cut it down to like 4.5 gigs worth of footage. Okay, some of the plans also include connecting with I have a martial arts gym that I'm working with. I pitched to them and did a whole thing with them like about a month ago, honestly, and the project kind of dragged on, unfortunately, but I reconnected with them. I don't want to barge and harass them over and over and over. So I wanted to give some space. I'm shooting a video probably next week with them. I need to get that on the actual schedule. That's like the first big like paid project that I'm getting like finalized. Just waiting for some logistical things around that to get solidified so we can move forward with that. Got them on a monthly retainer, and so yeah, it's kind of big fish I'm getting ready for next week. So I got to do what I can today, get that set up so that it's just locked in. Yesterday I took a coffee nap. Sounds weird, doesn't make any sense. I watched a video from Johnny Harris talking about the issues with being tired all the time. And one of the things he mentioned that I thought was fascinating, thought worth trying, was taking a coffee nap, which would involve drinking a cup of coffee and then immediately going to take like a 15-20 minute nap. And because coffee works to block the chemicals that tell your brain that you're sleepy, so coffee keeps you up because it pushes that to the side. When you're actually sleeping, it's already working to remove those chemicals so that you can rest and reset. And so the idea was to take a 15-minute nap, and so at the same time that your body is releasing those chemicals so you can reset, coffee isn't having to worry about blocking anything because it's already been released and removed. So you can just the running theory is when drinking the coffee, it pretty much helps to expedite the release of those chemicals so you can reset, and by the time you wake up, you're good. So I had that nap, I had like a 20-minute nap after a cup of coffee, and I felt great. I actually tried to go back to sleep because I thought I was tired, but then when I got up, I was just up. So I had I had pretty much a very literal power nap. Holy freaking cow, I did it. I am so relieved. I pretty much broke my camera lens in order to make it work. So I had to, there was a particular notch that has to do with locking the lens and allowing iris ring to be adjusted. So what you'll notice in, I guess, this line of FD lenses and probably other lines, you can adjust the aperture on the lens, but when you first pop it open and start working with it, you're not going to see the iris change at all. And there's a notch inside or on the back part of the lens that will, but once you get the adapter on there, right there, this at the very bottom where it says lock and open, once you change it to open, it is going to actually allow you to adjust the aperture. And the notch you can see. And what I was speculating was that that metal notch was too big for the adapter, which I don't understand why the adapter wouldn't be accommodating that. But the adapter I got specifies is for a Canon FD, and that's a Vivitar. I couldn't find anything that was specifically accommodating the Vivitar FD lens. So I think it's just one of those things where it is what it is. Trying to convert vintage lenses, I'm learning, is very difficult. And I just wasn't trying to, I did not want to have to return the lens or the adapter. There wasn't any other adapter that was going to do anything different. Every other adapter for EF mount is going to be the exact same. And I didn't want to give up on this lens yet, even though there's some other flaws going to come with this. So I committed to trying to knock that thing off. I wanted to sand it down at first, be a little more gentle, but I don't have any kind of grinder or any sanding material that's meant for metal, especially something that sturdy. So I did something very dangerous. I didn't want to do it, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you know what you're doing. So I was being very gentle and taking pliers and pretty much bending that top notch of that, the top portion of that notch, because I knew the pin that I have in the lens, in the adapter, is going to hit that anyway. I could sacrifice the extra notch up top, but also had to use pliers to anchor the base of it, because I didn't want to accidentally break it on the inside mechanism that actually is going to still function and mess with the aperture. I don't want to break that, so I'd be very, 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 very careful. So yeah, I broke it off, succeeded. I didn't damage the lens itself. That mechanism still works, thank God. I finally got to wedge that adapter onto the lens. It's supposed to like snap into place. It didn't, so I had to very, very tightly just cram it on there. I only went this route because I needed something to work for my EF camera until I could upgrade to a Sony camera. So yeah, now I just have to do some test shots with the lens now that it's appropriately mounted to my camera.